It's vlog time. What's up, everybody? Tech Checker here, and it's vlog time. That's right, it is vlog time again. We hit the weekend. How was your week? I hope your week was great, but I hope you've got even more planned for the weekend. But let's go ahead and jump right on into it. But first, I wanted to talk a little bit about, if you weren't aware and you cared, probably didn't, but maybe you cared, why there are so few videos this week and probably last week as well. So if you didn't already know, I went back to college. Yeah, I went back to college, and I'm taking 2 classes right now, working to get my bachelor's degree. We're not going to go too far into it, but we've got a business ethics class and an intro to meteorology class. So yeah, there it is. That's what I'm studying. Yay! No, not really. But had my very first quiz in my meteorology class, and I gotta say, I forgot how to study, and I feel as though I forgot how to learn. Being away from school that long, boy, it sure felt like I was reading the stuff, but I didn't know if I was retaining it. As soon as I would try to parrot anything back, nothing. But took the quiz, 10 out of 10, boom, nailed it. Moving right on. I just wanted to make note of the issues going on in Texas with Hurricane Harvey. I just want folks to know that, I know a couple of people that are living down in Texas, and one in particular that actually lives in the Houston area. So our thoughts and prayers are still going out to you guys, so that, a quick recovery, safety. Since I'm in that intro to meteorology class, I know that oftentimes the hurricane isn't necessarily the worst part of the actual storm. It is the flooding afterwards, which we all know if we've seen any kind of news. So a lot of the water should be starting to, residing now, but that's the biggest danger, which is pretty scary. I can't imagine seeing waves of water just coming towards my house and into my house. So our thoughts and prayers are out to you guys. I hope you are able to rebuild very quickly. Alrighty, moving on. So if you, in news, action figure news, I believe it was last week, we got a in-package picture, and I did a video on it, of the Marvel Legends Back in Black Deadpool figure. It's the symbiote Deadpool. Looks pretty cool. It's really starting to kind of, I don't know, it's starting to look pretty cool to me. I may have to pick this up, but this is a GameStop exclusive. So there you have it. We also got an image of what appears to be the upcoming Build-A-Figure for the Deadpool wave. And I did a video, eons back, I think during the SDCC 2017, where we kind of went through some of the Deadpool wave figures. Didn't know what the Build-A-Figure was going to be. Now we have a pretty good idea that it's going to be this Sasquatch. And from what a lot of people are saying, and myself included, it looks like they're reusing quite a bit of the Man-Thing Build-A-Figure to bring us this Build-A-Figure. There's some definite sculpt differences, especially in the chest, and they kind of toned down some of the root-like sculpt, but essentially this is the Man-Thing Build-A-Figure with a few tweaks. So I'm not super excited about it. I didn't do a video releasing the information, even though I got it pretty close to when everybody else did right at the beginning. I just didn't have time to do it. So I apologize for that, but there were plenty of others that posted up videos, I'm sure. I know Doodog had one. So what do you guys think of this potential Build-A-Figure? Does this excite you? Do you have the original Sasquatch from Toy Biz? What do you think? Me personally, I'm not super excited about it. This isn't a character that I'm I must have. So this might make it easier for me just to pick and choose some of the figures within the wave that I gotta have and then pass on the rest, which is nice because it's a lot cheaper that way. Let's talk. So the last week I was gonna do my vlog episode, and I didn't get a chance to actually do it because my family and we went on a short little vacation. We went camping to a state park. So I didn't get a chance to do my weekly vlog. And the topic that I was going to talk about in that vlog was, is it okay to swap a figure with a higher value figure and then essentially return it? So basically a fig swap, but you're putting in a equal or higher value figure in its place. That was the question that was posed on a Facebook group at one point. And here's my opinion. No. It's just not okay to do that. And here's the scenario that I think might put it in a little bit more perspective as to why. And I'm not going to beat this horse too much because I want to get on to the other topic that the subject line or the title of this video was about. But here's the deal. Let's change the scenario. Instead of you're going to put a higher value figure into a package and return it to the store, what about this scenario? You go to someone's house and they're a mint on card collector, and you pull the figure out that you wanted. It's not the highest value figure, but you pull it out of the package and you put in a Pizza Spidey, which right now is going for anywhere between $50 and $70 mint on card. Is that okay? And I ask that because you're putting it down to a personal, individual level. If I did that to your collection, if I opened up a figure that you had and put a different figure in there, even if it's a higher value, is that okay with you that I did that without your permission, without telling you, without asking? I'm going to say more often than not, most people are going to say, no, that's not okay. Because there was a reason I had that figure. What if that was my favorite figure or my favorite character? Oh, there goes Deadpool. Deadpool just fell. There's a whole slew of different reasons why I think that that's just inappropriate. It's not okay. It's not your property to be doing if you're going to go and return it. So the scenario is I bought the figure, I swap it out, I keep the figure that I want, put it in a different figure that I don't want, and return it, get my money back. The issue is you are basically stating when you return it that there's either something wrong with it, which there wasn't because of any reason or fault of the manufacturer or the retailer, but you're also saying that this is everything that came with it. It is all intact, yada, 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 unless you're returning it saying that it's not intact. But if you do that, then you're kind of lying. So there's just a whole slew of things that are just wrong with that idea. So I think fig swapping is just wrong. I think stealing the Build-A-Figure or pieces of the figure is wrong. It's all wrong. So what do you guys think? Do you guys think it's okay? Do you guys do this? What's your reasoning? How do you rationalize it? In the Facebook group that the question was posed, it really didn't seem as though very many people, if any, thought that it was okay. So I think it's more of a hypothetical. Someone was asking. I don't think anybody really does it. Well, we've seen pictures. People do this kind of crap, but I don't think anybody was bold enough to actually admit that they did it. Okay, so I want to get into the topic of the week. This was a growing trend that I was seeing on some of the different Facebook groups because it was Force Friday. There was a lot of hype behind, or I guess ahead of Force Friday for Star Wars. All the new stuff was coming out. Everyone was excited. Me personally, not so much. I'm not a huge Star Wars collector. I'm trying to stay out of that black hole. I've got enough black holes that I'm collecting from. But the question that was posed was, is it okay to punch a scalper? Think about that. Let's let that sink in for a second. Is it okay to punch a scalper? So let's define what a scalper is. I don't want to get too far into it, but basically it's somebody who's buying up multiple figures with the intention of selling them at a profit higher than the retail value. So, is it okay to punch them if you discover what they're doing? So, my guess is the scenario, you're in the store, everyone's running to the toy area, and you see one guy grabbing 5 of the hottest figures and throwing them into his cart. And you think in your head, who needs 5 figures? That's a scalper. Here's some of the problems with that thought process. Number 1, you're making an assumption of what's going on in that person's head. You're making an assumption that the person's intentions are bad by your standards. What if this guy has 4 friends, all of them have to work, and he said, hey, you know what? I'll do my best to try and pick up a figure for each of you. Boom, not a scalper. Good guy. Here's the other scenario. He's got 4 people that he knows on Facebook that said, hey, we're not going to be getting them. Maybe some of them are overseas or whatever that might be. And then he goes out and he goes and grabs them. What if he wants 1 mint on card, 1 to open? Yada, yada, yada. There's a whole slew. What I'm getting at is there's a whole slew of reasons that actually put him not being a scalper. And then I come back to the fact that, okay, let's say he is looking to buy 5, keep 1. Oh, heck, just keep none and sell all of them for double the retail cost. Does that give you the permission to punch him? Let's talk about this, guys. First off, it's not illegal. Second off, if the store isn't limiting per customer, then technically that person has done nothing wrong. You punching them is against the law. So our society, our culture has deemed violence against someone who did not first, perpetuate the violence against you. We've deemed that to be wrong. Just because somebody has a different idea from you or a different ideology than you, which the ideology of, and this is getting much more serious than it needs to be, but I think it's pretty serious when people are saying it might be okay to punch someone simply because they're doing something you don't like. And that's where you get into the ideology. Your ideology of thinking that scalping is wrong and terrible, and their ideology of I'm just making a profit, it's not illegal, there's nothing wrong with it. It's 2 conflicting ideologies. The issue is when one ideology thinks that theirs is morally superior, and then they rationalize using violence against the other ideology. Where the one ideology is like, you know what, I'm just going to do my thing. Maybe they're pricks. They could be the biggest prick in the world. But I'll just say this. The person who is actually willing to punch someone because they don't like what the other person does, they're kind of a prick too. So I would actually say the person willing to punch someone in the face is a bigger prick. Okay, let's back up. Take a step back. Now, a lot of the folks that are, throwing out the let's punch a scalper, a lot of them are doing it just in jest, in kind of a sarcastic, satirical fashion. They wouldn't seriously punch someone. So I want to make that clarification or that distinction that I know that most people, It's more of a emotional reaction to, anything where you're just like, I can't stand what he said. I just want to punch him in the face. It's kind of it's a verbal way of just kind of releasing that anger. And you know what? It's okay. It's fine to be upset with scalpers. I can't stand the fact that there's certain figures I can't get because they cost way more than I'm willing to pay. The issue is with the second and third party market, there's a market. That means that there are people that are willing to pay those prices, be they from overseas where none of this stuff shows up. And you know what? That's the best that they can do. Or it's a figure that the supply doesn't meet the demand. And that's what collecting's all about, is the value of the product winds up going up if there's not enough supply for all of the demand. And I think that's where, and I've done a video on scalping before, and, I've caught a little bit of flack, and I'd like to think that I do it in a respectful way where I try not to demean anybody, but the idea here is in the collector world, there's basically two ideologies in the collector world. There's the hobbyist, who really just, it's more of the medium. It's the art, it's the characters, it's the stories, it's that side of it. And then the other side of collecting, which is actually a profit and value based collecting. And those butt heads, similar to DC Marvel, where, I think mine's better than yours. If you look at the definition of collecting or a collector, it includes both. And I think we really should work to try and respect each other. And, scalpers, I will say, you guys take it easy. All right. It is driven oftentimes by greed. And I will say, more often than not, those who are scalping are likely driven by a little bit of greed. But you know what? There's plenty of valid reasons for why they're doing it. And in the United States, at least, it's okay to make a profit on things. And I know a lot of people dislike the idea of profiting. But that's a whole different discussion that is not entirely it's not toy related. So we're not going to get into that. But here's my overall response to this. It's fine if you're being funny, tongue in cheek. I want to punch a scalper. That's fine. I don't really care. Words aren't going to affect me. But if you look deep down in your heart and you actually do believe that you would be willing to punch someone in a store because they had 5 figures in their cart and you assumed, or you even knew, even if they said, "Oh man, I'm going to make a killing off of eBay with these." Even if they said that, look deep in your heart and determine, is that really the person that I am? Am I really the person that's willing to punch someone in the face because another person is buying more than one figure with the intent to sell it for a profit? I just think that's, if you're really willing to do that, kind of feels a little scummy. I'm not saying if you're willing to simply say it, that's not scummy, that's funny. I think it's funny. But I do think that some people take it too seriously. And with the whole, everything that's going on, at least in our country right now, there's just a line. So be careful, folks. Be careful with that line. Okay. We talked about enough serious stuff. Let's talk something fun. Let's talk toys. Because this week, I didn't do much hunting. But there was one thing that I knew I absolutely had to get. I had to get it. And it's not a very popular toy line. And they're really cheap. But I went to a couple of Walmarts in my town, and the first Walmart didn't have them, and I was starting to get bummed. And I had actually sent out a note to a couple of my friends saying, "Hey, if you happen to see these, can you pick them up for me?" Went to my next Walmart, and boom, found them. So this is the Mega Construx Heroes series, He-Man and Skeletor. And so I say that these aren't super popular because I don't see these cropping up or popping up on the different toy pages all that often. T-Man 978, he does get into these quite a bit, and he did a review on these two. So there are folks out there that enjoy these. I count these as a 1/36th scale because they're about 1.5 inches, 2 inches tall. They are fully articulated, like elbows, shoulders, wrists, hips, knees. Some of them have ankle articulation. I don't think these do. My Ninja Turtle, the black and white ones, they actually have ankle articulation. They've got head articulation. They've got little accessories, and retail price, they're $5. And I don't know. I'm absolutely obsessed with these things now. So I'm on the lookout for the and you won't be able to see it. I'll post up a picture. I've got a couple of friends looking for the Xenomorph from this wave. I don't need anybody else looking for them. So I appreciate if anybody would be making that offer, but I've got other folks looking for it, so I don't need anybody else looking for it. So I just need the Xenomorph next. I am really hoping that this Mega Construx company, this is series 1. I'm really hoping that they do a series 2 and they give us a few more Masters of the Universe, and maybe some Predator, and maybe another Xenomorph or something like that. That would be so cool. All right. Last but not least, we've got an unboxing. I've actually had no other figures coming in the last couple of weeks, so this is super exciting. I got a friend mail from a friend of mine. Friend mail from a friend of friend.
Say what again? Say what again? I dare you. I double dare you, mother.
Say friend one more time. Okay, so this is coming in from my friend from Texas, and luckily he isn't close enough necessarily to have hit any of the major hurricane stuff, so he is fine. I think he's in Arlington, but this is from Rube the Great. We had a trade going on. I sent him what did I send him? I sent him, I can't remember. Oh, Green Goblin from the, what is it, Sandman wave. And he found me. Look at this packing. So, dude, Rube, you didn't have to do priority. I could have waited a week more. I wouldn't have cared, but I appreciate it. But you could have saved some money on the shipping. But this is, oh man, I'm so excited. So, basically, if you didn't know, I am hoping to complete the Marvel Knights Netflix wave. And I have just the Blade figure so far. And I had Rube go pick me up Bullseye. Oh! And this is clean too. I have seen Bullseye in my town since talking to Rube. But that is a cleaner paint job than the ones that I've seen. So, Ruben, thank you so much. Great trade. Rube's a great guy. I vouch for him entirely when it comes to trades and whatnot. He is a very, very good guy. So, be good to him. Be very good to him. So, we got Bullseye. Oh, yeah. So that means now what do I need? I need Jessica Jones. I need Elektra. I need Daredevil. I need... Who the heck else is there? I've got Bullseye. Got Blade. about we look at the box? Oh, Punisher. I need Punisher. Duh. Okay. So I also placed an order on Toys R Us, and I used the remainder of my birthday gift card. And I am super excited about this. There's one figure in here that, well, let's just open it up and get to it. I should have a little table, but I have to hold this. Okay, we'll start with this. We got the Jungle Patrol Dutch from Predator. Well, it's from NECA, but it's the 30th anniversary Predator. Oh, this looks so good. Get to the chopper! Man, this looks good. NECA does such a good job. So I also had a $5 Toys R Us Rewards gift card that I was able to use to drop the price on these guys too. So I'll be doing a review of this guy, obviously. Got to do that. And then I did something that I went down potentially a black hole, but this was just too cool. So this is from Heroes of the Storm, Thrall, and this is also from NECA. And sorry for the glare there, that's probably better. I gotta admit, I haven't played the video. It's from a video game. I haven't played the game. It's I think it's from the same video game producer as like World of Warcraft. But I know nothing about this. But this is just such a super, super cool looking figure. I saw a review of it on Anthony's Customs channel, and I just couldn't help myself. I had to grab it. So, yeah, this is pretty sweet. What do you guys have any of these? Do you guys play the game? I downloaded like a free version on my computer, but then when it wanted to download the actual content, my computer didn't have enough space. So I never got around to actually trying the game. And actually, the free version would have been World of Warcraft, I think, instead of the Heroes of the Storm. So, I don't know. I'd love to try playing the game. I'm not a video gamer. I don't have a video game console. Well, we have an original Wii, but I don't really count that as a gaming console anymore. So let me know if you have these figures. Do you play the game? Is this guy a villain? Is he a hero? Says here, War Chief of the Horde, Thrall. As a child, Thrall served the cruel Blackmoor as a slave. After gaining his freedom, he guided the liberated orcs to a land of their own and worked to recover their ancient traditions. Now and forever, he is the War Chief of the Horde. Sounds like he is a hero. This is NECA. It looked too cool to pass up. And since I had that birthday money, I thought, let's go ahead and do it. So, it's been a great week, you guys. I am super stoked. Here's the haul for this week. It's technically been 2 weeks. Booyah. Alrighty, you guys. I hope you have a great week. Have a great weekend. Stay safe, those of you in Texas and Louisiana. I know Louisiana was getting hit. So stay safe. Make sure you listen to whatever instructions are given to you. We'll be praying for all of you guys down in the southern part of the U.S. So keep on hunting, you guys. Let me know in the comments below if there's anything you want me to talk about next week. Is there an interesting topic that I should talk about? And also, is there... I was thinking about doing a review of those little Mega Constructs. Should I? Do you think I should? I was kind of thinking maybe not, because T-Man already did one and it's good enough. Good enough for me. And since there's not a lot of interest in them, I don't know. We'll see. And I don't have a huge amount of time anymore because of school. But whatever. Let me know in the comments below. Go ahead and hit the like button. If you've made it this far, you should have hit the like button already. Hit the subscribe button. Again, if you've watched this long, you should hit the subscribe button. I do this every week, unless I don't. And leave a comment. That's the part that I like the most, is talking to you guys, because I don't have a lot of people in my town that also collect, so it's nice to be able to relate to others that collect, and that's you guys. So, until next time, I'll see you guys later.